Good afternoon and welcome to what is sure to be a feisty game between Exeter Chiefs and Trailfinders Women. It's a beautiful day down here in Devon. The sun is shining, the sky is clear of clouds, and there seems to be just a little breeze sweeping through Sandy Park. You are joined on the live stream today with me, Claudia McDonald, and beside me, Emily Totosi. Hi Emily, how are you doing today?
I am doing very well. A great day for rugby. Sandy Park is happy to see all the internationals return for what promises to be a good game today.
Yep, so let's chat a little bit about Exeter Chiefs. Chiefs are currently sitting in second place in the PWR table, just 2 points behind the PWR leader Saracens Women. A string of 3 successful wins. First, an 8-7 scoreline versus Quins, followed by a huge 52-10 win against Leicester for our first home game of the season. And then, of course, we cannot forget last week, a first ever win on the road against Gloucester Hartpury in a truly nail-biting 21-15 win. Emily, what are your thoughts on Chiefs season so far?
Oh, I'm so proud of the team, and I think that the new additions we have some players coming back in. I think that week in, week out, it doesn't matter who we're going to see on the score sheet. We should see an exciting, powerful brand of rugby.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. So against Trailfinders, of course, today, they had a bye last weekend, so they've only played 2 fixtures so far this season. But even with that, they still sit in 4th place in the PWR table. A very narrow 29-38 loss versus Saracens started their season, but followed by an emphatic 64-33 win versus Loughborough in the second round. So what do we think we can expect from Trailfinders today?
Oh, I think we can expect some fast, free-flowing rugby. We have some real spicy players in their backline, and then some also unpredictable forwards that have a lot of strength in their pack. I think we should be seeing a pretty good battle. Unsure of what the kick game will look like. It's a good day for it, not too breezy, but I'm excited to see some ball in hand rugby from them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a perfect day for it, isn't it? I think when you look at the stats, Liv McGovern sits right at the top in terms of those kicking stats. But you've also got Brooke Bradley up there, obviously not playing today for Ealing. I think she's injured or so. But you've got Katie Mattinson in at 9, also an incredible kicker of the ball. So, perhaps we're still expecting some kicking from there. But yeah, I think it's certainly going to be a really good battle between the two sides. So, to run you through the teams before we get started here. For Ealing Trailfinders, making up the front row, we have Liz Craig, Christiana Blanco and Andrea Stock, who recently received her first cap for Ireland in the WXV tournament just gone. Emma Taylor is at number 4, who has now relinquished her captaincy duties to Kate Zachary, who takes on the number 8 shirt. Beside Taylor in the second row, you have Shia Pinnock and Rowena Burnfield and Annabelle Meta making up the back row. Katie Mattinson will debut for Trailfinders at scrum half alongside Ella Amory at 10. Kendra Kusanu will also make her Trailfinders debut at 12 alongside a Canadian teammate Julia Schell at 13. Grace White, Abby Dow and Rosie Inman complete their back 3. For Exeter Chiefs, we have Michaela Nelson earning her second start for Chiefs alongside Cleena Maloney and Charlie Jacoby. Poppy Leach, our Chiefs captain, is in the second row alongside Linda van der Velden, back from the Netherlands' first ever WXV tournament. Some familiar faces make up the back row in Ebony Jeffries, Maisie Allen and Emily Robinson. Flo Robinson, sister of Emily, vice-captain for the day, is at scrum half, paired with Liv McGovern at 10. Alex Tessier returns to the side from a very successful WXV, taking on the 12 shirt alongside Nancy McGillivray. Then finally, our own speedsters at the back. We have the ever-dangerous Sabrina Poulin, Laurie Kramer and Merin Deutsch. A very exciting lineup.
Here we go.
And we're just waiting for the referee to blow the whistle for the first start of the game. It will be a Exeter Chiefs kickoff. And they go short. It's Kate Zachary who takes it neatly in the air. And I think they might already be setting up for that box kick that we just spoke about.
You definitely called it.
Katie Madison puts it up in the air. Merin Deutsch under it. Secures it nice and safely as she often regularly does. And Chiefs now are into their attacking rugby.
Oh, turnover.
I think it was a turnover by Liz Craig, perhaps snatching it off the ground. A stumble at the breakdown, and Ealing Trailfinders are on the run. The Canadian partnership linking up very well in the centres, and it's Abby Dow on the far side making a break down the wing. Some fabulous defence from Liv McGovern there to keep going forward. Oh, but Julia Schell's picked it up, putting Laurie Kramer under a bit of pressure. A fabulous kick there. I'm not sure who kicked it, but a brilliant kick, and it might even have been a 50-22. It is a 50-22. So Ealing Trailfinders take the line out just 10 meters out from the try line. A very dangerous starting point for Ealing Trailfinders.
For sure. I guess this will be the first set piece of the game. We'll see what it's going to be about. Oh, and an overthrow into the hands of Charlie Jacoby.
An interesting stuff here. Clorin Nielsen actually has the most line-out steals of any player in the PWR. And Liv McGovern clears it very safely from the line. Oh, and it's an interesting one. I'm not sure whether it was taken out by Ealing or by Chiefs, but the lines person has said Trailfinders. Trailfinders take it nice and flat, straight to the line, crash through the middle, and they're looking to play back to the short side. They've certainly found some space. But Flo Robinson clears it up very well.
Well defended at the edge by Flo Robinson there, but a penalty from earlier.
It's a shame. It's really smart play by Laurie Kramer, just getting into that offloading channel to stop Ealing Trailfinders getting that ball away. Something that Trailfinders are very good at, actually. Their offloading game is very good, very well developed. Clearly something that they're looking to rely on, especially in these wider channels, and something I'm sure we'll see a lot more of as the game progresses. That is an absolute nudge. Trailfinders have gone from the middle of the pitch, and they've put themselves in a brilliant position just 7 meters out for another go at the try line. Second attempt in the 22. Can they be a little bit more successful with this one? Roy Bernfield takes it cleanly in the air, and they are mauling towards the corner. Oh, and they have the penalty advantage. Will they continue to maul it and score? It looks like they have done in the corner, just 2 meters out. And I think Chiefs will be a little bit disappointed with their defense there.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it was Christina Blanco that touched that one down. Hard to tell in the mass of the maul, but pretty sure it was her that had it tucked at the back and was able to ride along the edge.
A nice bit of variation that we're already seeing from Trailfinders. They've hit Andrea Stock at the front of the line-out already, not going up to compete, just hitting her straight on the 5 meter, playing off that nice and wide, hitting through the centre field. And then in that one, they send Roy Bernfield up. I think they're just showing us something slightly different at the line-up, and perhaps we'll read that better as the game goes on.
Emma Taylor looking to take this kick from pretty wide, but we'll see how she goes. Again, wind not too much of a factor.
Is this a Canadian thing? Do all Canadian forwards learn how to kick for posts?
Hey, maximize the skill set. Doesn't matter the number on your back. It's what you can do.
She's actually been incredibly successful this season with her kicks from the tee. I think she sits in 4th or 5th in the league for most points scored and is the top-ranked forward. And she's absolutely sent it. What an absolute boot that was, straight through the post.
4 meters from the sideline.
Another 2 points on the board for Ealing Trailfinders, and they lead 7-0 with just 5 minutes gone. And if you could see Emily Satosi's face beside me, she is shocked. And we're off again. Liv McGovern sending it deep right, and Julia Schell just picking it up very neatly on the ground. And it looks again to be a repeat of what we saw just a few moments before. Katie Matheson building the caterpillar to send a box kick into the air. Very well collected by Meryn Doige, this time shifting to Liv McGovern, who tries to find a bit of space through the middle.
Yeah, Trailfinders looking to play 0 rugby in their half this far.
And a penalty there for Trailfinders. Looks like they were sealing off at the breakdown in their approach. We're just whispering here to work out what it was that the referee is saying. We think the approaching player from Chiefs went straight off their feet to try and secure the ball, which obviously is illegal in rugby, thus giving Trailfinders a penalty. However, it's not made touch, fielded by Meryn Deutsch and then sent downfield by Liv McGovern. Received by Katie Mattinson, and this time it's Ella Amory on the ball. Sends it deep into Laurie Kramer, but she has an absolute boot on her too, so she sends it well over Katie Mattinson's head, and this time Trailfinders are scrambling for it in the backfield. Chased very well again by Laurie Kramer, and Alex Tessier flies out the line there but doesn't quite make the tackle. And Trailfinders get a very nice kick away to the far corner, and it will be their line out about 7 or 8 meters outside of the 22. Let's talk a little bit about Tessier. She obviously was playing 10 last time she was with Chiefs. Today she's in the 12 shirt, which is something you'd regularly see her in for Canada. Is that a place where she's perhaps more confident in?
Yeah, I don't know if it's more confident or just a matter of who she's with, how we can best maximize her skill set. But yes, coming off of a excellent WXV tournament, I think here is shown how excited she is on defense. We just need to stick some of those hits, perhaps as a team, and just settle in a little.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And then that line out for Chiefs, just been put under some pressure there, intercepted in the air, unfortunately. And then Trailfinders are back in possession and moving. Christiana Blanco there, making a good carry, but cut down well by the Chiefs' defence. Chiefs are actually incredibly comfortable defending. They have the most tackles made of any PWR team in the league at the moment by quite a long way. So very comfortable defending. And again, they're turning it into attack. Charlie Jacoby taking the ball straight into contact, no messing around.
Oh.
A fumble in the backfield, but it's picked up by number 15, Rosie Inman, who makes a good break into the Chiefs' defence. Abby Dow moving into first receiver. And the Chiefs' defence is pushing Trailfinders back and back with their phases.
Wouldn't be surprised if they go for the box kick here soon. They don't want to be playing rugby here.
Yeah, it's clearly a tactic that they're using very early on in their games. As you say, they don't want to be playing inside their half. I don't think most teams really are that comfortable playing too much rugby in their half. A little bit of miscommunication there between Sabrina Poulin and Liv McGovern, but Sab has picked up the ball and she's on her way. A little offload to Meryn Deutsch, who makes a further few meters through contact. Poppy Leach slotting in to scrum half, and then an offload that doesn't quite stick between Charlie Jacoby and Ebony Jeffries. Picked up instead by Kate Zachary, and on the move from Katie Mattinson to Abby Dow on the wing, who's very dangerous, ball in hand. Well, that is an incredibly flat line to Blanco through the middle there. Offloaded again to Shia Pinnock, who fights her way through contact and doesn't seem to be able to be put on the floor. Oh, a lovely inside ball, and it's Emma Taylor this time, chasing away from Nancy McGillivray. Kate Zachary shut down by Laurie Kramer in a double tackle with Charlie Jacoby. But they're away again. This breakdown is incredibly quick for Trailfinders. They're playing very flat to the line. Great pressure at the back there by Laurie Kramer. But it looks like another penalty for Trailfinders. Certainly feels like Trailfinders have the momentum at the moment.
Yeah, I think Chiefs just need to settle in. As much as we love defending, we obviously need the ball in our hands a bit too to try and even out the scoreboard. hopefully we see some tough defense here at the line-out.
Yeah, I think that's something that Chiefs really pride themselves in. You know, that defensive ability that they have to manage teams incredibly well.
And right now we see Rachel Johnson coming in for, I believe it was Maisie Allen, who's off injured. Unfortunately, only 11 minutes in. Rachel's a big physical player that will add a huge defensive presence to our effort right now.
Absolutely, but Maisie Allen, massive loss for Chiefs. She actually leads the PWR stats for most tackles of anyone in the first 3 rounds of the Premiership.
Maisie's such a workhorse that actually doesn't surprise me. Much better stoppage at the maul there.
But Rachel Johnson getting straight back stuck in. Trailfinders working incredibly quick round the corner. And it's Annabelle Meta that carries. But a very nifty bit of defence, and they've held it up. I think we're seeing Emily Robinson and Rachel Johnson come out the bottom of that. Possibly Alex Tessier.
Yeah.
Very clever bit of defence. So Chiefs have now the opportunity to clear their line with a goal line dropout. However, that does also give Trailfinders another chance to attack the try line. Very well taken. It's Kate Zachary, former Chiefs player herself, who takes the ball, and off she goes. Through the hands of Anne-Marie to Ro Burnfield. Nearly breaks the tackle of Flo Robinson there, but she's off. Emma Taylor back on ball.
Some big collisions on the park.
This time it's Andrea Stock. Huge double tackle by Michaela Nelson. And Emily Robinson sends her backwards. Fabulous defence by Chiefs. Another big hit going in. I mean, from up here you can hear the collisions. So it's huge efforts from both sides. Shia Pinnock that time on the carry, and this time it goes out the back to Ella Amory, who sends a little chip over the top that goes straight off the pitch, and it will be a Exeter Chiefs line out. A very frantic couple of phases.
Yeah, very frantic. Both sides also looking frantic, but another chance for a Chiefs line-out. Hopefully can maintain possession, as the first one had gotten swiped away. A lot of rugby being played in the 22 at this point.
Yep, absolutely. It feels like Exeter Chiefs need to secure the line-out and just get the ball out of their half, really. Probably get the ball off the pitch, give themselves a time to reset, and then let's go and have a go in the other half. It's a very nice line-out, I think, received by Linda van der Velden. And Exeter Chiefs are driving it up the pitch. Flo Robinson at the back. Moves us Liv McGovern, who sends it downfield with a horrible looking spiral kick. I mean, I was on the end of some of those at training, and they were hard to field. But Abby Dow has got ball in hand, and she's taking on Sabrina Poulin, who gets her to the floor very comfortably. And Exeter Chiefs are outside of their half and in the Ealing Trailfinders half. Good old box kick being set up again, and this time Liv McGovern's underneath it, secured with Abby Dow on the chase. It's a great carry by Linda Velden, just taking the Chiefs side forward.
Nancy having a sniff up the middle. Good momentum on the carry.
Such an exciting player. It's had such a tough 15, 16 months coming back from injury. Now we're seeing her back in a Chiefs shirt. Just her 3rd game, I believe, for Chiefs. But such an exciting player. I'm really looking forward to seeing how she gets stuck into this game. Chiefs just not really going anywhere at the moment. Trailfinders looking narrow in their defence, but also not looking like we can attack the edge that they're presenting. And I think now Flo Robinson sets up for her own box kick. Chased by Sabrina Poulin. And a knock-on by Trailfinders means Chiefs are straight back in the attack. And Liv gets it out the back, and she takes the space herself.
Show and go right up the middle.
And the offload doesn't quite stick, unfortunately, and it looks like it's a Trailfinders advantage for the knock-on. Booted straight back downfield by Katie Mattinson. Oh, and another knock-on in the backfield by Sabrina Poulin, and a very clever bit of play, really, by Trailfinders, because they've made about 30 metres of ground and retain possession. An unfortunate error by Sabrina Poulin, and certainly an uncharacteristic one.
Yeah, really unfortunate, but I mean, good tactical play by Ealing. They kicked when they had the scrum knock-on advantage, and that scrum has gotten them 20 meters further up the pitch at this point. And I believe this will be our first scrum of the game at 16 minutes in. That's a good day for the forwards not being in the scrum the whole time.
So what do you expect from this scrum then? We've obviously got a pretty experienced front row in Michaela Nelson, Cleena Maloney and Charlie Jacobi against Liz Craig, Christiana Blanco and Andrea Stock. Andrea Stock, who did get her first cap for Ireland in this WXV. But how do you think those front rows are going to pair up against each other?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting match of power. I think both packs are kind of coming together a little bit after the WXV tournament. But I think at this point, with how much it's been a back and forth game, attitude's a big part of what'll come of this scrum.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a winger, I just want it to go well, and then I want the ball to be moved away from there and given
ASAP
to us as fast as we can. But it's interesting to think what Ealing Trailfinders are going to do here. They haven't had a huge amount of possession they've kept hold of inside the half. We've seen a lot of box kicking from them, but it'll be interesting to see how they launch from this. You've obviously got Ella Amory there at first receiver with Abby Dow stacked behind. So are they going to play through their very strong centre partnership, or are they going to come out the back and start challenging those wider channels?
Scrum reset. Don't know that the ref will let another one happen. I think it was just feet slipping out from under them, but we'll see again.
Yeah, there's a new law that's being trialled, is there, where you cannot reset a scrum? Is that so? Does it go straight to a free kick, or has that not been introduced yet?
Well, I don't know if it's been fully introduced yet. I know that we are trying to keep the speed in the game and have a quicker set on our lineouts and our scrums. But obviously, especially at scrum time, safety is paramount, so I imagine the ref will be feeling it out a bit before making any calls. But the Chiefs go after them. Kate Zachary does exceptionally well to get the ball up and away to Katie, but Flo is on her.
That was an immense scrum by Exeter Chiefs that has driven them back another 10 15 meters. Absolutely brilliant work from the Chiefs pack. And a stumble from Ella Amory at 10. The ball has gone backwards, but again, Trailfinders going backwards in their attack. And I think about to set up that trusty box kick that we've already seen a lot of this game.
Oof.
Oh, it's got an ugly bounce, and it's a very good kick from Katie Mattinson, sending it out just outside the 22. Perhaps the sunshine is playing a bit of an effect. I think catching Sabrina Poulin out on the left-hand wing.
I was just thinking that. We saw earlier Marin holding her hand up to catch, Sab doing the same thing. The sun is a factor. Hopefully it's not one that gets in any athlete's head today. One missed ball doesn't mean anything moving forward.
Yep, absolutely. As I say, it is a beautiful day here. But that sun, as you say, can have a real big effect, especially in the backfield. And with those box kits going so high as well, it can be incredibly challenging to catch under those conditions. But as you say, hopefully they've let it go. Chiefs with the put-in at the line out. Hopefully they can gather it and send it downfield. Not sure what's happened there.
Yeah,
the second ball has been booted onto the pitch. I think with the idea that a ball wasn't in the hooker's hands, but it was.
I think confusion, but trying to be helpful, which led to being unhelpful.
So Cleena Maloney with the throw-in. Received again very well by Linda van der Velden at the top. And almost a repeat of what we saw just a few minutes before. Chiefs are mauling it downfield. And this maul is moving. This time Liv McGovern opts to run it out. Sabrina Poulin back on the inside. Oh, and her chip ahead is fielded very well by Rosie Inman, who takes it into contact. And it looks like Cleena Maloney's gone for the turnover, but being unsuccessful and awarded a penalty against them. So Trailfinders are back on the attack. A lovely offload midfield, Zachary. From Zachary, a ball to Julia Shell, a ball back inside again.
Good work by Lindy,
Kendra,
making the inside tackle.
And a great bit of defensive work from Linda van der Velden. Puts puts the pressure on the handling skills, and it's a turnover again with a Chiefs scrum and a Trailfinders knock-on.
Chiefs should be feeling confident going into this scrum from the results of the last one, so hopefully can keep the process.
Yeah, you'd be thinking that Chiefs perhaps in this area of the pitch might opt to try and scrum for a penalty at this point. If they could get a penalty here, then you'd be looking to clear the line, and then you're in a good attacking position. I don't know if that's something you'd be thinking about, Tozy Moore, as a hooker yourself.
Definitely, especially because we're just on the 15. That's a pretty good kicking angle for our kickers. But right now, Ealing just seemed to have the upper hand on capitalizing on the mistakes.
So Flo Robinson with the put-in. What looks to me to be an early shove by Trailfinders, but nothing said by the referee. So what would we know sitting all the way up here in the skies? So that he will reset the scrum and we'll go again. So as the scrum is reset, I actually have an interesting fact about Liz Crake, who plays at Loosehead for Trailfinders today. She had more kicking meters in her last season at Wasp than the fullback, which is very interesting from a Loosehead. So I wonder whether we'll be seeing her putting boot to ball today. But more importantly, the scrum is back underway, and Rachel Johnson makes a break down the blind side, happily taking contact and challenging Grace White to put a shot in. This time Emily Robinson carries through contact very confidently. It's pulled back to Liv McGovern across to Alex Tessier.
With a contest in the air, but Abby Dow coming out successful.
Yeah, interesting option there to crossfield kick it. But it was a fair contest in the end. Abby Dow has read it incredibly well. Oh, a lovely ball there to Shia Pinnock, straight through the middle.
Julia Sheld as well to pick
shut
that
down
up.
by Laurie Kramer. And it looks like Christina Blanco has knocked it on just in the midfield there. Very stop-starty this game at the moment. I think a Trailfinders player is currently down, receiving a bit of treatment. I think it's the second row, Shia Pinnock. But as for the game, a little bit stop-starty. It must feel very difficult to get any real momentum at the moment for either team to really be in much flow.
Yeah, and I think what you said earlier, I think Ealing has had more bouts of momentum, but both teams are struggling. It'll be brilliant pass, knock-on, or some unfortunate penalties. I think Exeter being guilty of poor discipline thus far than Ealing. And the ref will be definitely looking for some stability at this scrum. It's the third scrum now. We shouldn't be resetting once or twice. So expecting maybe some calls to come a little earlier if the scrums aren't staying up.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wonder whether we're going to see Rachel Johnson making another break down this short side over here. I mean, if she does, she's certainly got a lot more space now. Grace White taking that space just on her own as a defender. On the open side, though, Abidal's sitting on a half, which does present a bit of an edge to
drive.
go at. Huge scrum by Exeter Chiefs, and they have got the penalty advantage. Off they go, and just a scrappy bit of handling lets them down again. As we say, just need to neaten up a little bit. Perhaps there's a little bit of nerves, a little bit of hesitation, nerves about returning players getting into the side, just trying to settle into the game.
But what a brilliant scrum, though, by Chiefs. Thankfully, when you have that advantage to fall back on.
Absolutely brilliant. And we have to talk about Michaela Nelson here for a moment. She has been fabulous since coming to Exeter Chiefs. I think every time she's come onto the pitch, she has achieved at least a scrum penalty every single time. She truly is a brilliant scrummager, alongside, obviously, Chai Jacoby and Kalina Maloney. But I just think she's been a brilliant signing and really, really bossing that loose head shirt at the moment.
Definitely, and just exciting. It's her first season in the PWR, and this league is just filled with, and just keeps getting full with more exciting players.
Absolutely. She's also Chiefs' top try scorer, having scored 3 tries already this season. But we are back underway. Tessier takes the ball in the midfield.
Kate Zachary getting caught in the bottom. Flo Robinson tapping it quick. Kalina Maloney happily bowling over Katie Mattinson, taking a few other defenders with her.
And we're off again, going down the blind side. Emily Robinson this time in possession.
Lori Robinson doing a great job to latch and keep her in. This is the type of momentum Chiefs will be looking for. Just that go forward, confident carries.
Oh, and it's a lovely ball from Nancy McGillivray, finding Sabrina Poulin on the edge. Abby Dow just in all sorts of trouble out there, having to defend 3 or 4 players on her own. She does it incredibly well. But hopefully Exeter Chiefs can real notice that and send it to those edges a little bit earlier. Liv McGovern again on possession. Charlie Jacoby with a little tip to Ebony Jeffries, who takes it very well, straightens up and goes through a little hole. And we're back up again. This time Tessier on ball out the back to Liv McGovern,
Some silky
who's looking for an
rugby.
offload, finds Kalina Maloney, and she's down the edges again. And we are up and running from Exeter Chiefs. Charlie Jacoby making great ground through contact. Flo moving it again, this time to Ebony Jeffries, who's back up on her feet and running through the centre field this time. It's Poppy Leach around the corner. Rachel Johnson on a fabulous clear out. And Liv McGovern goes her own, offloads to Laurie Kramer, who gets the ball away again to Tessier. And it's a difficult pass to take, but Sabrina Poulin has picked it up from her feet and scored in the corner. And that's probably more what Chiefs want from their attack. That's the momentum, that's the quick shift, the speed of breakdown, the offloading we're perhaps a little more used to seeing from Exeter Chiefs.
Yeah, and that wasn't super scripted rugby. That was just skills, catch pass, moving forward. It was announced as 14 Laurie Kramer, but it was Sabrina Poulin who scored the try.
That or Laurie Kramer is in a couple of places at one time, which also could be the case, who knows.
McGovern looking to take the kick from essentially where Emma Taylor had taken theirs earlier.
Liv McGovern is currently the 2nd highest point scorer in the league. She's scored 26 points, beaten only by Gloucester Hartbury's Emma Singh, who has scored 39. The majority of those, I think, for Liv have come from the tee. She's a very successful kicker from the tee, but obviously this is about as hard as it gets.
Yes.
Probably only a metre from the touchline. So following the kick, we're obviously going to go into a Trailfinders kickoff, the first one of the game. What do we expect from that? Do we think they're going to go short, long?
At this point, just with their other tactics, I wouldn't be surprised if they did just send it long, get it as far away, and try and hope that Chiefs make a mistake. But really interesting to see. We know Kate Zachary has those great aerial skills to go short, and a couple speedsters to get under those balls. So we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely.
The score remains 7-5 for the Trailfinders.
Yeah, Liv McGovern's kick just going a little low there, not quite making it to the sticks, unfortunately. And Ella Amory is setting up to kick. Fielded by Kalina Maloney, who takes it on. And Chiefs are up and running through Charlie Jacoby in the midfield. It takes a couple of Trailfinders players to get her down. The ball is pretty quick from the breakdown too, and the Chiefs have got numbers here if they can get the ball away. But Nancy McGillivray instead choosing just to straighten and go forwards. Emily Robson probably caught a little bit off guard there with that carry. And there is a Chiefs player on the floor. I think that's Kalina Maloney, who does not look happy.
That's
A little insight here. It's actually incredibly hard to be watching your partner play rugby, especially when they get injured. It is one of the hardest parts of rugby. Of having a relationship in a team. Both of us have had to do it, where the other one has gone down injured and the other one's watching or unable to be there. And it's pretty horrible. It's horrible watching any teammate get injured, I'll be honest.
Maybe it's a bit of inside perspective, too, of when people say, oh, don't your mom or your dad, like, what do they feel watching? And I think it is a sniff. Kalina is up on her feet.
Emma Taylor opting for the 3 points here, and
an easy 3 for Emma Taylor off the
nails
tee.
it. She nails it. 35 meters out or so, and she's put it straight through the sticks. Trailfinders lead 10-5 in this fixture. So Liv McGovern back to the kickoff. And she sends it right straight to Julia Schell again, who is off, taken down by Canadian teammate Alex Tessier. But she scrambles on the floor and continues going. This time Shia Pinnock on the carry. And they come round the corner, Ella Amory to Roe Burnfield, who takes on Ebony Jeffries. And it's Abby Dow racing down the outside. And a brilliant bit of a tackle by Liv McGovern and Sabrina Poulin. I'm not sure who it was that actually made the tackle there, but a fabulous chase back, and Exeter Chiefs have won the penalty.
Yeah, Abby Dow just looking to release and get up, but actually was still being held by the tackler.
It's where Abby Dow is dangerous, though. You can't give her 5 meters, let alone 8 meters. And you certainly need to be matching her up with a winger in front of her, because she is very quick, very powerful, and that is what she'll want in this game. She'll want to be hands in ball in a wide enough channel that she can just get going and take some people on.
Yeah, Sabrina Poulin might be one of the only players on the pitch that can backtrack to make a tackle like that on a player as fast as Abby Dow. Front of the maul may be sacked, but back of the maul continuing on.
And flows out the back there, moves it to Poppy Leach, who takes some contact very close. And a bit of a slow breakdown there. Trailfinders making a bit of a mess of it. But Michaela Nelson again goes forward, and they look back to the blind side. Cleaner Maloney taking contact. Trailfinders putting in some good shots. Exeter Chiefs are not going anywhere just at the moment.
Yeah, Trailfinders also looking to be a real nuisance at that breakdown.
Flo Robinson puts a nice box kick in, and it looks like Ella Amory just can't deal with it quite in the backfield. And a great chase by Liv McGovern and Nancy McGillivray. And they cut Trailfinders down right outside the 22. Oh. But Ella Amory is off.
Oh, and Maren Deutsch in over that ball. What a steal.
It's all quite scrappy at the moment. I'm not sure what is going on. The referee has called a penalty.
Ooh.
And Liv McGovern's face is looking pretty battered. There's quite a lot of blood coming out of Liv McGovern. I think what actually happened was on the floor when she was picking up the ball, Julia Schell's also gone to compete, and I think a knee has just caught her eyebrow or something like that.
That's my guess as well. I think potentially that could be a blood sub coming off, so we can get some stitches.
I'm pretty sure Liv's going to have to go off to get stitches there, and Gabby Cantona will be coming on for Exeter Chiefs. We can see her running at the sideline. It is a penalty against Trailfinders, not allowing Liv to get back up onto her feet to make the tackle. Tessier takes the ball, sends it straight down Trailfinders, and it will be a Chiefs line out about 10 meters outside the 22.
And from a pretty narrow angle, Chiefs have gotten some decent meterage there. So again, just another thing. We just need to settle down, win this line out, move on to the next phase. Trailfinders, though, eager at the breakdowns, looking to disrupt Chiefs.
Nancy away on the line out, and she just makes a little break herself. Back to Charlie Jacoby around the corner, who again goes forward, and there is space again on that open side if Chiefs can get it there, but they instead opt for a inside ball to Rachel Johnson from Poppy Leach. Gabby Cantona hands on the ball for the first time this game to Tessier, and then Sabrina Poulin down the left-hand wing. Being on the ball a lot already this game. She'll be pretty chuffed with how well the ball is moved to her.
Unfortunately, support not there in time.
Again, it's just a little scrappy from Chiefs. As soon as they seem to get a little bit of momentum, as soon as they're going forward and making good decisions, something creeps in, an error creeps in, a turnover in a knock-on or a turnover at the breakdown, and they give possession back to Trailfinders. Not the best kick from Trailfinders, but it will be their line out about 10 metres outside the 22. It's overthrown, collected by Cleaner Maloney, but I think the referee is calling a knock-on. Questionable, perhaps. Hard or a hard call.
Yeah, hard to see from
call.
this angle. I think we probably would have said straight down, but obviously referee has the call. But Chiefs can feel confident in their scrum, especially from this position, deep in Ealing end. Good, honest hit and drive. Hopefully we can see that same pressure we saw the first Ealing put into the game.
And the crowd are loving the Exeter Chiefs scrum. You can hear them starting to chant, starting to rumble. There are a fair few supporters here today, and they certainly love the Exeter Chiefs scrum, and they are showing what they're capable of as well.
Yeah, I think the whole scrum can be pleased. That's an all-8 effort, and this could be a huge game-changing moment. Tess just kicking for touch. That's Alex Tessier. And it's going to be a line out about maybe 10 meters out.
Really important part of the game here. Obviously, Trailfinders lead 10-5. It's really important that Chiefs secure this line out and go at the line. They need to score here. It's just before the half. We've only got a minute or two before half time, and they really need to, perhaps 3 or 4 minutes before half time, but they need to put some points on the board. And it has been received in the air, very successful. It's going forward, and it looks like Rachel Johnson has gone over, breaking through on her own. A fabulous bit of play by Exeter Chiefs. And another 5 points on the board to level it up 10-all.
And with Liv McGovern being out with that blood sub, I think it'll be Alex Tessier looking to take this kick.
So many options out there for kickers. I mean, you've got Liv McGovern regularly kicks for Exeter Chiefs, but you've also got Gabby Cantona in previous seasons has taken the kicking duties for Exeter Chiefs. Alex Tessier,
Laurie Kramer.
And Laurie Kramer. Well, I was going to get to her. She is the highest point scorer ever for the Wallaroos. Recently given that title, has scored the most points of any Wallaroos player in all Wallaroos history, which is amazing. Such a huge feat.
Oh, and that ball just bouncing off the post. So it's 10-all. There is a little bit of time before the half, at least enough time for the kickoff.
It's funny, isn't it? We always talk about the team that scores before and after half-time, how they're such momentous parts of a rugby game. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe it's, especially when it's right before half, that's the taste you go into the changing room with. But it is true, and I guess it's whoever can get their legs under them as soon as that break at half does happen.
Yeah, it's your first opportunity to see whether you can actually put into action, isn't it? The things that you say at half-time. that first sort of couple of plays after the half. But up we are again with Exeter Chiefs. Ebony Jeffries taking the carry this time round. And a penalty is awarded for Trailfinders for holding on in the ruck. I think it's Ebony Jeffries getting up there from the ruck. Just the support play not quite there for Exeter Chiefs. Something they're going to have to tidy up on if they want to win this fixture, which they absolutely certainly do.
Yeah, I think this is, well, it's just a little unusual in terms of discipline. So many pens against in the first half, and especially with the boot of Emma Taylor here, they take another 3. That could be them having the lead going into half. So definitely not out of reach. Just I think Chiefs will need to take a breath, strategize a bit at halftime on how we're going to eliminate some of these penalties that I think are avoidable. Absolutely.
But obviously 2 penalties in a row now where Trailfinders have opted for the 3 points. You know what? Why do you think that is? Do they not trust their line-out at the moment? Obviously, they didn't have the most successful line-out. They've had 2 lines that didn't go so well, but they have had one that resulted in a maul try. So interesting that they've opted for the 3 points again when perhaps they could have an opportunity to go a whole try up against Chiefs just before the half-time.
Yeah, and maybe the Chiefs did defend their second maul a little better, so perhaps that's... And it can be interesting, the attitude of when scrums maybe aren't going your way, it translates into the set piece attitude. I'm not too sure. There's also just securing those points before half as well.
And Emma Taylor does exactly that. Such a consistent boot on her so far this game. And Trailfinders go up 13-10, but there will be time for one more kickoff before the half-time whistle goes. This time, Alex Tessier taking the kicking duties from the kickoff. Let's see where she puts this ball. She sends it a little short at Kate Zachary that gets up in the air and receives it very calmly.
Laurie Kramer manages that well. Kate gets 0 meters there.
Shia Pinnock carries hard with Emma Taylor supporting. And we might have time for one more Trailfinders box kick.
They are looking to set up wider for their chase.
Marion Doige, steady as ever under the high ball. She gets it away, moves it to Tessier, who finds a little bit of a gap, but not too much. Support there very quickly, and they're back on the run with Michaela Nelson, who struggles through a couple of tacklers. Liz Craig floating around in there. Gabby Cantona on the ball again. Linda van der Velden taking it at pace through the 5-meter channel. Poppy Leach away, a little inside ball there to Emily Robinson. Great tackle by Liz Craig, battling her to the floor. And that is a fabulous read by Annabelle Meta from Trailfinders. Just picking up that inside ball line.
Ooh.
A bit of a high tackle sneaking in there from Ro Burnfield. Certainly looked that way, and the referee has agreed. A penalty for Exeter Chiefs. Now, what do you do here? Scrum, it is in the middle of the pitch. It looks like they're going to kick for touch, but I would be tempted to go scrum here.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a far kick for sure, or even just a little tap. And Chiefs will opt to end the half there. Go regather, come out for another 40 minutes.
And they will go in to reset. So it's been a bit of a flip-floppy first half. 13-10, Trailfinders lead the way going into the tunnel. But thoughts on the half? For me, a little bit scrappy from both teams. Both teams probably not performing to the level that they want to at the moment, not quite getting that flow in that they'd like. But Emma Taylor, a fabulous boot on her off the tee.
Yeah, no, and I think they took the points when they were on offer, and it's put them in a good spot going into half. I think set piece-wise, we've seen Chiefs come out a little more dominant in those scrums and those mauls. Lineouts going a little iffy either way at times, but open play, I think definitely Ealing have capitalized a bit more on some of those sneaky offloads or looking to win those 1v1s at times.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, well, we will see you at the end of halftime, ready for the second half. So make sure you tune in again for the second half. Bye-bye from us for now. we are back underway here at Sandy Park as Exeter Chiefs come straight back onto the pitch. From what I can see, it doesn't look like there's been any substitutions made at half-time. Liv McGovern has obviously, I don't know whether she went for a HIA or not. I think it was just a blood sub, but she is back in the tension and back on the pitch with a bit of strapping on her head. And the Trailfinders team also looks very much the same.
Yeah, I would agree. I think maybe Liv's only changed a bit more fire in her belly after that, but we'll see how the Chiefs come out second half.
I mean, Liv's pretty fiery at the best of times as it is, so I can imagine it's only going to be doubled at the moment. And she sprints off to get herself ready, and it will be a Trailfinders kickoff. What do you think we need from Exeter Chiefs in this second half to really get themselves back into this game?
I think just building some phases. I think Ealing did a great job at disrupting some of those rucks early on and maybe got some more awards, which kept them hungry for it. So if we can get them off the ball, I think that would be a huge way to start this 40 minutes.
Absolutely, and obviously we've got some real threat and real brilliant players on the bench that we can bring on at any moment. But that is perhaps not quite the start we wanted. It just knocking backwards off Michaela's hands there, but regathered by Sabrina. Flo plays the short side, Cleena Maloney carries in, but handled very well by Zachary and Burnfield. Flo Robinson sends it backwards to Liv McGovern, who sends it down the pitch. And it's fielded very well this time by Rosie Inman at 15. And it's Amory off down the left-hand side. Grace White tries herself down the middle. Nearly makes a half break, but is tackled well.
Laurie Kramer's defense has been pivotal in some of those key moments. She's really reading when to go up and put that pressure on.
Absolutely. I mean, those wide channels, you talk about Trailfinders, and I think their outside attack is what you think of when you think of Trailfinders. I mean, they've got some rapid wingers. Grace White, I think, is up there for highest meters carried and for defenders beaten and for line break. So a very, very dominant wing. And obviously on the other side, you've got Abby Dow with Rosie Inman at 15. They're missing Vicky Laughlin today, who also is topping the charts somewhere in the top 10 or 5 for carries and defenders beaten. So very, very dangerous. And Laurie Kramer, as you say, is certainly defending that very, very well. So scrum awarded a free kick there to Exeter Chiefs, and Rachel Johnson takes them forward. Flo Robinson passing to Michaela Nelson, who nearly juggles it but gathers it very well. And they're up and running once again. Ebony Jeffries taking contact. And some very quick
hands by Tessier.
From Tessier. A lovely bit of play, but a knock-on on the edge by Sabrina Poulin, picked up by Inman, but just caught by Nancy McGillivray, I think it was, who took her into touch. Lovely bit of play there by Tessier to get the ball wide into the channels. I mean, that's what we're talking about. The space is there for Chiefs. The space on the edges is there. Trailfinders' defence is narrow at times. It's just how to get it there, how best to get it into the hands of the wingers with still some space to play with.
Unfortunate there, called not straight. We'll see if Ealing picks the scrum or the line out. If I were them, probably the line out. Yeah. Hopefully Chiefs can put some pressure on and get this ball right back. Cleo will be frustrated there, but always a threat at the back of the line out.
Interesting, because I think the new law change would mean that if Trailfinders hadn't gotten up off the ground there to compete, that would have been play on. But as it is, it's Trailfinders' ball. They juggle it a little at the line out, but go forward. Ooh. Attempt an offload. It goes forward. And I think it should be a penalty, but it will be a knock-on and a Chiefs ball. What would you do? Do you scrum for penalty again? Try assert the dominance in the scrum in the second half? Or they are in a good attacking position. Do they look to move it quickly from the back of the scrum and get it into the outside channels and have a go?
At this point, I think the mindset is just to drive and have a good platform. And if a penalty comes, great. In a perfect world, it'll be penalty comes, we still play away, and we get that second chance if there's a handling error.
Absolutely. And again, the crowd here are going wild for the scrum. They really are loving it here. The drums are going. It's an incredibly noisy atmosphere here. And there is a penalty from the scrum. And Trailfinders are marched back a further 10 metres because of number 1, I believe it was, Liz Craik.
Yeah,
I think the referee put his finger up to suggest number 1.
That's something that you always, when you get marched back another 10, it takes a toll on the whole team. Now Chiefs going to have a line out from about maybe 11, 12 meters out. This is a huge opportunity, again, stemming from that strong scrum.
It's something you always regret instantly, isn't it? If you ever cause your teams to be marched back 10 meters, you instantly regret it. You're like, I should have just kept my mouth shut. I didn't need to say it. It didn't make me feel good enough to have been marched back 10 meters.
And the thing is, the ref's never going to go back on a call that they've already made. So, a tough one, but it's the heat of sport.
A line out taken very well by Ebony Jeffries in the air.
Oh, and that is rolling forward.
It is moving forwards. It is moving forwards.
I think Kleina's got the ball right at the back. It's still on. Michaela rejoining them all.
Emma Taylor just making a nuisance of herself at the back there. Trailfinders are defending this very well, but it does look like it's moving forward.
Oh,
and they've now got the penalty advantage. They really have to score this.
Oh, and the ref calls it back. Unsure why we didn't fully play that out, but another penalty on the 5 here. And we will look to go to touch for a line out again, it's looking like. Chiefs should have some confidence there. Well marked on the ground by Ealing, but still found a way to go forward. And that was about 8, 9 meters last time, so right on the 5 here.
Again, they go to the front. Ebony Jeffries taking it very confidently at the front of the line out there.
Good.
And they drive infield. Andrea Stock swinging around the outside, but has to go back to get onside. And it's a try from the Exeter Chiefs pack. I assume it's Kleina Maloney at the bottom of that.
Yeah.
You can never quite be sure who's on it when there's so many bodies lying around on the floor. Linda van der Velden just down for a moment, getting a little bit of treatment. Hopefully she'll be absolutely fine. A huge force in this Exeter Chiefs team. So we really do want Linda van der Velden back up on her feet and going again. But that's what Chiefs needed. We talk about, again, just before the half, we spoke about scoring before the half and scoring straight after the half. And we are just 6 minutes into the second half, and Chiefs just looking a little more composed, a little more dominant than they were in the first half, perhaps.
Also just questioning if that was awarded as a penalty try, as nobody did take the kick off.
You are correct. And I think it's Andrea Stock, their number 3, who was sent off the pitch with a yellow card. Well spotted. So Chiefs take 7 points from that, and they lead in the second half with 47 minutes gone, 17-13. And the kickoff's taken very calmly by Liv McGovern, sending it back downfield to Chloe Rolly, who is now on the pitch, I'm assuming in that 15 shirt. Grace White back on the ball through the midfield, but taken down to the ground by Rachel Johnson.
Some big line speed by Poppy Leach.
Taking Christina Blanco.
Charlie J with a big turnover.
A huge turnover by Charlie Jacobi, who is having a stormer off the game. She came off the bench last week against Gloucester Hartpury after returning to Chiefs. She spent the last season playing in Australia, but has returned to Exeter Chiefs and has been playing brilliantly in that tight head shirt since being back.
This is the momentum that we were talking about in the first half, that Ealing had the edge over Chiefs just the last few minutes. Discipline on Ealing's side has allowed us this territory back in. It'll be interesting to see if it's another maul or if Ealing's even going to try and get up to compete at this point or stay down and try and defend it.
That's a brilliant take. I think that was Emily Robinson in the air.
Yeah.
Fabulous hands to gather that ball and take it down. And Chiefs maul is moving forward. Flo Robinson just floating around the back there, ready to move it if needs be.
And
they
the
have
arm
the penalty
goes up.
advantage. They will move this ball. Tessier's quick hands, great ball to Liv McGovern.
Oh.
And Sabrina on the crossfield. She's chasing.
On,
Will she get the ball down?
Oh, that is a close call, but some fun, creative rugby there by Chiefs. We see the arm goes up. You know that you have a bit more creativity, and you have Sabrina Poulin out here ready to go chase it. Again, quick hands by Tess to get that ball out to Liv. Well, it's not the points we wanted. It is still that momentum, and it's pressure on in the right areas of the field. This is exactly what the Chiefs will have talked about at halftime.
Absolutely. So Chiefs will have another go at the line out. But it looks like Cleena Maloney will be exiting the field. Her leg is pretty heavily strapped. So hopefully she's fine and will recover very quickly. But Clara Nielsen comes onto the pitch at hooker. Also a brilliant player. Irish international for Irish international.
Clara will get stuck in right away here with a line-out throw on the 5-meter line.
As a hooker yourself, this is a pretty stressful situation to come straight onto the pitch for, isn't it? A 5-meter line-out. It's a pretty crucial moment.
Yeah, I think a player as experienced as Clara, though, can just back all the evidence she has, and hopefully we'll see it here.
Absolutely.
Easy. Nothing for Clara.
Really, really great throw. Finds Ebony Jeffries in the air, and the maul is moving forward once again. Clara Nielsen just controlling it at the back there, and she goes over.
And that'll
Great
be one of the
composure.
quickest tries she's ever scored, from being on the pitch to on the scoreboard in less than a minute.
I reckon less than 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So the scoreline now reads 22-13. Looks like Liv McGovern is back on the pitch, but Alex Tessier will assume kicking duties from the tee. Oh no, they're switching once again. Liv McGovern back to kicking from the tee. So what do you think Ealing Trailfinders will be saying under the posts at this moment?
If I had to guess, it would just be a bit on discipline. I think it was some of those penalties that got us such good field position, because they know they have the physicality and the speed, but they just really haven't had much ball in this 11 minutes gone in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. And a cheer from the crowds here, in case you heard it, is because Hope Rogers has just entered the field. And it looks like Charlie Jacoby will be coming off. Which is interesting, because oh no, that is correct. That is interesting, right, Tatosi? We now have two loose heads on the pitch.
So I'm wondering if
wrong?
Michaela Nelson's sliding over to tight head, or if Hope's coming and taking some tight head duties. I guess we shall see.
But anyway, some real excitement around Hope Rogers coming onto the pitch. Recently awarded her 50th cap for USA. One of only just a few players, I think, that have achieved that.
Definitely. Huge accomplishments. Also coming on the field, Lisa Thompson for, I believe, Kendra Cousineau of Ealing.
And that will be her first PWR game. And obviously her debut for Trailfinders.
Yeah.
So from the restart, Exeter Chiefs in possession, and Liv McGovern sends it right up into the air. It'll be a difficult one for Chloe Roddy to take, but she's very comfortable under a high ball, and she takes it very well. And they're back up on the move with Shia Pinnock, who runs straight into Hope Rogers, who is not afraid of contact. Katie Matheson sends a box kick up, and it's gone not very far, but sent
Into
straight
the
backwards
hands
by
of Flo.
Trailfinders. And Flo Robinson is in possession and on the move. Poppy Leach floating around to play scrum half, which she does like doing. And a huge, huge penalty there for Exeter Chiefs. Abby Dow just getting caught in the ruck, I think saying that she was being held in by her shirt based on what she's doing on the floor. But a big opportunity here for Exeter Chiefs to send it downfield, which Alex Tessier does very competently. So it will be Chiefs with the line out inside the 22 with another opportunity. Again, just using that front ball straight to Ebony Jeffries. Interesting that Trailfinders aren't defending that, because we've hit that same ball 3 or 4 times already this game.
Yeah, I guess it's a matter of Chiefs at this point going, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But Ealing haven't quite changed their tactic, but Chiefs still making big yards on these mauls. That's another 10-12 gone there.
And Tessier with a lovely bit of speed
right
onto the
through.
ball, and she's made 7 meters there. Hope Rogers, she is a try-scoring machine, always up there for Exeter Chiefs' top try scorers of the season. Looks like she might have just been caught shy of the try line, and Exeter are pick and going at the line. There is space if they choose to move this.
Either direction.
But they don't need to, and it looks like it was Hope Rogers that came up ball in hand. Another try for Hope Rogers, it seems. Yeah,
Hope Rogers
absolutely.
is hard to stop all over the pitch, but if there's one place that she's really hard to stop, it's right on that goal line. Her upper body is so strong that she can thrash her way down to the floor.
And she always goes so low. I mean, you really have to put your body on the line if you're going to stop Hope Rogers.
Amen.
Probably one of the easiest kicks of the game for Liv McGovern, right in front of the posts. Is going to be chased down by Grace White, though. Hopefully Liv McGovern can slot this, and it would put Chiefs now at 27-13 up, and hopefully 29-13 up. It is a great kick. So 55 minutes gone. Exeter Chiefs lead 29-13. And it will be a Ealing Trailfinders kickoff.
And now coming onto the pitch for Ealing is Tyson Bukaboom, who is actually Team Canada's most capped women's player in the history of our program. She'll be looking to make an impact. Again, another really physical player coming on the pitch.
Adding so much experience to the Trailfinders setup. I think previously last year's captain as well.
Yes.
So certainly a leader within this team for Trailfinders. And on the Chiefs side, Dorothy Wall makes her Premiership debut for Trailfinders, coming over from Ireland and coming in to the second row, I assume. Flo sends it straight back to Liv McGovern, who sends a horrible-looking spiral kick down the pitch that Chloe Rolly just can't quite deal with. The referee is, however, calling it backwards. Rachel Johnson, though, puts a great tackle in the middle of the pitch.
Hope also being a physical presence at that ruck. Ealing probably feeling lucky to have that ball, but catch us a little short on defense.
Abby Dow kicks it ahead, and it's dangerous. Merendoy gathers it very well, and she does have enough support with her to look after the ruck. Michaela coming in to play scrum half. Dorothy with the carry.
Really scrappy at ruck time there.
But Liv McGovern just says, we've had enough of this, and sends it downfield. Gathered very well by Amory off the pitch, and she sends it straight to Chloe Rolly, who has a look. Cut down by Laurie Kramer, but Grace White is off in lots of space, and this is probably the first time we've seen her in space this game.
Nancy McGilvery and Lindy do a really good job of managing that wide.
And again, Laurie Kramer just being that physical presence in the outside channels.
Julia Shell stepping up at scrum half that one. Met well into contact.
This time Grace Moore on the ball. She dodges a tackle by Rachel Johnson, carries it back into contact, but unfortunately knocks it on in the second bit of contact. And some substitutions happening. Number 17, Key Tamai, coming in, and Cassandra Tuffnail. Number 17 and 18 coming onto the pitch.
Cassandra Tufnell will be playing with an extra big smile on her face today. This will be her first game of the season after rehabbing back from a shoulder injury that took her out last season. Interesting with some of these changes to see how this scrum goes.
And that is big, isn't it? First scrum that they're on the pitch, and a penalty awarded straight to Chiefs for what looks like the loose head pulling the scrum down.
And to answer our question earlier, Hope Rogers actually sliding into tight head at the moment.
So Tessier takes it, sends it straight off the pitch, and it will be a Chiefs line-out around the halfway. Do you think they're going to look to use this and play and have a go into those wide channels? I think Chiefs have been pretty successful when they've got the ball out there so far. They just need to look after it. They'll be a little bit more clinical in their possession, look after the breakdown, get their support players there a little bit earlier, and I think they can build some go forward and really have a go. You know, when they're in this half of the pitch, they do seem very dangerous, very dominant.
1,000% agree. I think it's a matter of the space is there, or maybe seeing it. We just got to execute a little more clinically.
This time Poppy Leach gathers the ball from the line out, and they are mauling it. Flo Robinson is at the back looking to move it, and she's off. Alex Tessier with possession, pulls it out the back to Liv McGovern. Nancy McGillivray, she's off, and Merrin Doidge steps back inside. A lovely tackle though by Julia Schell, and Abby Dow is sniffing around that breakdown looking for a turnover. A good clear up, but they have slowed the ball down. Emily Robinson takes it on. We go forward. Dorothy Wall looking after the ball, and Alex Tessier runs out of space, runs out of options,
yeah.
And steps back and takes it back to the other side. Interesting, just looks like Chiefs lost a little bit of shape there for a minute. And Liv McGovern at 10 carries into contact. But you've still got Linda van der Velden here ready to take it on and challenge Abby Dow and Julia Schell to make a tackle. Hope Rogers
Some
again.
Massive collisions out there.
Very dominant carry.
That was by 16, Lindoa Gwala. She had just come onto the pitch the phase before.
Great line speed by Trailfinders. Just getting up into Chiefs' faces and forcing them to hit short balls or turn back the way they came. Oh, Hope Rogers finds a bit of a weak shoulder there, and Chiefs do have an overlap if they can find it. But instead decide to go through the middle with Linda van der Velden. Trailfinders just making an absolute mess of these wide breakdowns, aren't they? Just slowing the ball down, allowing the defensive line to get set and get off the line again.
Yeah, definitely building and building phases at this point. Flo taking the option that maybe wasn't on, but Poppy steps in at scrum half. There we go. We get some momentum on that carry by Rachel Johnson.
And just the ball there from Tessier, perhaps just a little too flat for Laurie Kramer to gather, and it goes into touch, and it will be a Trailfinders line out.
Yeah, Trailfinders did really well there to keep their width on defense, helped facilitate that line speed up, and a benefit from a line out, I guess about 30 meters out at this point.
It's tough really to say what's not working. I think Chiefs, when they're hitting those hard lines, they're playing through the likes of Rachel Johnson and Linda van der Velden. They're going forwards incredibly well. They just need to look after that breakdown a little bit better. Trailfinders are making a mess of the breakdown, and that's really slowing Chiefs up in their momentum. It's so hard to play on top of teams when you don't have quick ball. On the reverse of that, Trailfinders seem to have incredibly quick ball, and they are up and running. Cassandra Tufnell having a big impact, but a big shot by Poppy Leach. Goes for the turnover, but unfortunately doesn't quite get it. frustrating there because you probably give Trailfinders an easy way out. You know, as we said before, Chiefs have some of the highest tackle counts in the league. They're happy to defend for a long period of time, but you can't be giving them an easy way out.
Oh, a tap and go by Ealing. Well, great cover tackle by Liv McGovern. Julia Schell there for some quick support for Ealing. I think what's really fun about this Ealing team is you don't know what to expect. We saw a quick line out earlier, which ended up benefiting them, and then we saw this tap and go. They saw they had an extra man out wide. They're not afraid to try things, and when you feel comfortable to be creative, some pretty cool things can come your way.
Absolutely. They're just playing with confidence, aren't they? They're willing to try things. They're not necessarily sticking to the script of what you would expect, but they're just taking opportunities that are on. Another quick tap there, and they are up and away.
Oh, and it just forces the opposition to have to stay alive more. You need to be getting back as soon as those pens are called, but met with a huge double tackle. Can't quite see who it was on the edge.
If Trailfinders can just keep their composure here, just keep going forward. But again, Chiefs just sending them backwards with these double tackles. Some fabulous goal line defense by Exeter Chiefs.
You've got your relatively fresh tight five on for Ealing right now, looking to use those physical bodies, and it looks like it's going to be kicked just dead here. Bringing it back to another advantage. Chiefs are going to have to be careful here, though. And unfortunately, an Ealing player down. Can't quite see who it is, but hoping she's okay. It can get really tough in these pick-and-go big collisions.
Absolutely. And that kick through here, that is a real danger here at Sandy Park. I mean, these dead balls are, I'm sure, the biggest in the league. They're about 12 metres, which is massive, considering, you know, you play at some pitches that have got a 5-metre dead ball. Not a lot of room for error when you put a kick through, but here, Trailfinders just exploiting that a little bit, putting the kick through, allowing Abby Dow to just go and chase and see what happens.
And I think putting the kick through also just helps add some doubt in the defending team, right? Now you're always got to be half aware if that's going to happen and maybe not as focused on your frontline defense, but yeah, goes dead there, but bounce of the ball goes a different way. Who knows?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just asking questions of the defense, isn't it? Which is, I think, exactly what Trailfinders have been doing this game with their options, different penalties. I mean, perhaps they've got a little less faith in their scrum at the moment, as we were saying, and that might be drip feeding into their line-out, perhaps, which is why we're seeing more quick taps. But at the same time, it's great to see that freedom of play. It looks like it was Annabelle Meta that was on the floor, but she is up, back on her feet, which was brilliant to see, and is back playing. So we will kick off again, and it looks like they are set once again for a quick tap. Katie Masterson taking the tap and sends it off to number 22, Lisa Thompson.
Katie Manson, a 9 that just likes to keep the ball up, likes to keep the pace of the game going as well. When you have her direct in traffic, that's why things are moving a little quicker.
Meta sent backwards there by a lovely double tackle.
Big
Again,
hit by Nance.
And Rachel Johnson putting in a fabulous hit. Katie Masterson tries herself around the breakdown, but is cut down by Clara Nielsen and Michaela Nelson as well. And Trailfinders are incredibly close to this try line. Oh. And it's a fabulous ball from Katie Masterson, flashed across about 17 metres straight to Abby Dow, who, to be fair, just about scores in the corner under quite a lot of pressure from Sabrina Poulon.
Yeah, I think Sab did well to come across. Unfortunately, not quite enough, but skillful and strong finish of Abby. Abby might not be the biggest winger there is, but she is strong.
She's incredibly strong, very, very powerful. I mean, everyone always talks about her handoff, and I think that's where she's most dangerous. You know, she's really aggressive through contact. Yeah, very explosive, and that's kind of, I guess, what we saw there. Probably Sabrina and Abby are actually a very good matchup, having, you know, now played with both of them, a very similar style of player.
Yeah, and I think that's what's exciting too, especially in the last couple years of the PWR, is that there's this stereotype around wingers that they don't love contact, and that's why they run around it. But I think it's both. I think they're obviously if they can win those 1v1s and fend off, but nobody is scared of hitting the contact in the wide channels here.
Absolutely. I think in general, players are just getting bigger, stronger, faster. Obviously, the S&C that goes into the programs is developing. And I think you can see that in the players that are now playing in the PWR. I think I actually heard a stat the other day that there were 30 Canadian internationals playing in the PWR. Is that correct?
More I don't know if we're quite at 30. There are quite a few playing here in the PWR. It's, on the field today, I think Ealing's got 4 Canadians, and on our team sheet today we had 3. So, yeah, exciting times. It's a fun, fast league that, especially in this build-up to the World Cup this year, you see more athletes from a lot of countries trying to get into such a competitive domestic league.
Absolutely. And I think it just creates so much competition around shirts. I know Chiefs, I certainly wouldn't want to be sat in the coach's office trying to make selection decisions, because it must be near impossible.
I couldn't agree more.
So a couple of substitutions made here for Exeter Chiefs. Lucy Nye comes onto the pitch. Flo Robinson comes off in the scrum half shirt. And Gabby Cantona comes on, with Liv McGovern finishing her day and coming off the pitch. Interesting to see whether Gabby Cantona goes to 10 and Tessier stays at 12, or whether they swap round. More traditionally, last year they would have played Tessier at 10, Cantona at 12, but I think Cantona's gone straight to 10.
I think that's a cool thing about the versatility of some of the players on here, is it doesn't matter what number's on their back. They're more than happy to embrace the role.
Absolutely. We've got so many players that could play in a lot of different positions, which is very exciting.
Well-executed line-out.
Lucy Nye, ball on the hands early, straight to Gabby Cantona, another straight on the ball. Naz McGillivray, a lovely little lift play to Laurie Crane, and Meryn Doidge up again, taking on Lisa Thompson. And a great clear out. Oh, fabulous pressure by Chloe Rolly at the back of the ruck, just putting Lucy Nye in all sorts of trouble. Meryn Doidge taking a fabulous straight line there, looking for an offload, doesn't quite find one, and they're up and playing again. Poppy Leach not quite finding the person she wants to with the ball, and Tessier says, enough of us messing around, I'm sending it downfield.
Finds a bounce, but Ealing are looking to have a go. They back in their pace and their skills. Well taken down by, I believe that was Michaela Nelson.
And Trailfinders back in possession. They play through their front line. Julia Shell bringing it out the back to Lisa Thompson. A lovely ball to Chloe Rolly across the face. And she steps back inside. So steppy, Chloe Rolly. So dangerous, ball in hand. Very quick ruck. And they're back up again. Oh, a near intercept by Rachel Johnson. And I think it was a knock on by Trailfinders there.
I think you might have just called it as a forward pass, potentially.
Oh, I think you're correct.
Yeah.
I think I got that wrong. It will be a scrum either way to Exeter Chiefs. So still on the bench for Exeter Chiefs, waiting to come on, will be Flo Long and Taylor Perry. Flo Long has been immense since coming to Exeter Chiefs. She had some time out from rugby after Worcester Warriors folded, but she's come into Exeter Chiefs and she's been brilliant. So I'm certainly hope she gets some time on the pitch today. And Taylor Perry returns to the side, having spent a couple of years back out. But hopefully we'll see her on the pitch again today as well.
And that's a penalty against Ealing. Meryn Doidge's knees were on the ground. The ref had already called tackle, and then she proceeded to rip the ball, and that's where the penalty came from there.
So this time, probably story of the half for Exeter Chiefs. It's now turned around. Exeter Chiefs just giving away too many penalties in the first half, but now it's Trailfinders just giving away too many silly penalties, and it's giving Chiefs easy meters. So Tessier with a fabulous kick to touch, and Exeter Chiefs will have a line out inside the 22. Emily Robinson up in the air at the front. very happily receives the line out, and this maul is moving forwards.
Yeah, Ealing deciding to stay on the ground again.
Lucy Nye just marshalling that maul at the back there, constantly near that ball. Keep making sure it's secure, and they can move it if needs be. Oh, but it's been intercepted by Julia Schell, and she is quick. I don't think anyone's gonna catch her from there. She's gonna go the whole way. But that is a fabulous chase back by Laurie Kramer to at least stop her from going under the post. Emma Taylor will have to sink a conversion from the 15-meter. Frustrating for Exeter Chiefs. Very frustrating to be inside the 22 with an attacking line out, to have moved the ball probably from a moving maul, but it is hard because the laws have changed.
Yeah.
Now on the first call, you do have to move it.
And the ref had given Lucy Nye the use it once. Goes to get that ball out. Unfortunate bobble there on the ground. Low ball to Tessier. Thankfully gathered without a knock on, and it was that next one after that. And fair play to Julia Schell and some of these Ealing players that are putting the pressure on relentlessly. Like, that's the reward that you're going to get from that. But
absolutely, we've been talking about that Trailfinders line speed, haven't we, all game, really. It's been brilliant, and I guess that is the reward for that hard work. So 29-23 the score currently is, depending if Emma Taylor can sink this for a further 2 points. And she can. I think she's been perfect off the tee today. Oh, perhaps missing. No, I don't think she's missed a single one. Very, very good. Achieving another 2 points for Ealing Trailfinders. And the score is 29-25 to Exeter Chiefs. And they will, of course, kick off. So 4 minutes to go in this game. Chiefs lead by 4 points. Are you looking to go short or send it long?
Oh, right in the middle to the hot spot. Laurie Kramer up, pressuring. She slips out.
Again, some great defensive pressure from Laurie Kramer. She has been everywhere this game. And I think another box kick from Trailfinders is what we've seen all game. They don't want to play it in their half. Completely fair enough. They're going to send it up in the air, send their wingers chasing, and see whether they can regather. Oh! And they've fooled all of us. They've sent it wide. Sabrina has cut down that well, but Chloe Rolly has wriggled out of that tackle, and they are up and running again. This time, Abby Dow on the wing races past Dorothy Wall, but just kicks it off what looks like the outside of her foot. She'll be disappointed with that. You know, she had a really good opportunity there. A 1v1 with Merrin Doige in the backfield. She kicks ahead, kicks it straight off, and it will be an Exeter Chiefs line out. But there we have it. I said they were going to box kick it because that's what they've been doing all game, and they changed it up. That's exactly what Trailfinders has been doing all game. So I don't know why I expected it to be any different than them changing it up and playing with confidence, which is what they've been doing.
Well gathered by Gabby Cantorna at the unfortunate overthrow there.
Yeah, it's a scrappy line out, but they are up and running. Hope Rogers takes it forward, and it's a bit of a battle in that tackle there. But they try the short side, a quick shift to Clara Nielsen, who takes it into contact. Grace Moore challenging that breakdown, and she's been successful with the turnover. Great speed. Katie Mattinson takes it on a quick tap, kicks it ahead, really challenges Merrin Doige in the backfield. And the bounce is ugly, to say the least. Merrin Doige, as she goes to catch it, just catches it on her foot and boots it into touch. That is pressure on pressure. Feels like Trailfinders now, with a little bit of momentum in this game. They're going forward, they're playing with their heads up, and they've got a lot of confidence.
Yeah, and I think we can expect anything here. Don't know if they'll go to a maul or a peel. Do have an insert in Tyson Bukaboom there. Loves an insert roll.
No compete from Exeter Chiefs there. So Kate Zachary receives it in the air, and this maul is moving forward. It does look a little scrappy, though. Have Chiefs... No, it looks like Meta's at the back there. Got the ball, and she's on the move.
Some tough defense needed here.
Zachary this time takes it forward, but taken down by former teammate Johnson. And Trailfinders are back, going round the corner. Guala takes the ball on, but knocks it on, and Rachel Johnson picks it up to go forward once again. Sabrina Poulin just saying, I'll have the ball and I'll go forward myself. 1 minute to go in this game. I think it's time to relieve some pressure, and that is exactly what Tessier does.
Oh my God.
Charge down, though, by Emma Taylor, who is having a fabulous game.
Maren Deutsch taken down.
Reacted incredibly well to the charge down, but goes straight into contact. And another penalty against Trailfinders. Whew, this is quite a stressful end to a game.
I couldn't agree more. My hand is shaking, my heart is racing.
Just want this ball to go off the pitch. Chiefs will have the line out. What do you think they're thinking? I hope they're thinking, let's look after the ball. We just need to waste time. We need to play 30 seconds, and then we can boot the ball off the pitch and we walk away with the win.
Yeah, we know we have a feisty Ewing team on our hands here, and we know that they're maybe going to take risks right now, but the time and the score, we don't need to take risks now. We just need to keep ball.
Experience is what this is going to come down to. They're going to maul it.
Yeah.
This is a good start. Is it time? Is there time? Is it time? I think it is. Is Lucy going to send it off the pitch? No, she's going to run it. Very interesting decision. Looks like Chiefs are playing with the ball.
Chiefs are going to have to
read that. And they need to look after this. I really hope somebody from Chiefs is asking the ref how long is on this clock. Now, I don't know whether our clock is entirely right. There could be time left on the referee's clock.
And just want to mention, we haven't said her name much this game, Emily Robinson, but recognizes that ruck and is just looking to do the work. She's just a smart, tactical player that will do what she needs to when she needs to do it. Chloe Rowley tries to keep that ball in, but Chiefs have a line out. Massive meters gained on that kick. What a boot in a time that we really needed to relieve some pressure.
Talk about confidence. I mean, we say in Trailfinders are playing with confidence. That kick shows that Tessier is playing with confidence. It would have been easy for her to just send it off the pitch, gain 20, 30 metres and have a go, but she booted it 10 metres out from the try line. They send it up. Emily Robinson gathers in the air, and the maul is off once again.
It is literally running forward.
It is going. It is moving. It's rotating, but it's moving forward. Nancy McGillivray just carrying it in there, and off they go. Hope Rogers
with a
will
booming
take
carry
on
forward.
the responsibility of taking Chiefs forwards.
And what a finish to the game! Lori Kramer receives the kick from Gabby Cantorna. That is bold rugby to finish.
I love it. We are sat not too far from the coaches, and I think they would have opted for that ball to be kept a little closer, looked after a little bit better. But I love that. The confidence to go and win the game with a crossfield kick between Gabby Cantorna and Laurie Kramer in the dying moments of a game. You know, Trailfinders thought they were playing with confidence, and Exeter Chiefs said, we'll match it.
And I think the thing is, too, if that had gone another way, maybe we're sitting here saying something else, but with that try takes the bonus point of being within 7 in a defeat away from the Trailfinders, which we know how the table can be come the end of the season. Every point does matter.
Absolutely. Trailfinders currently sit in 4th and Exeter Chiefs in 2nd. And actually in 2nd because Saracens have walked away with 5-point bonus wins in all 3 of their wins, whereas Exeter Chiefs have dropped 2 of those bonus points, leaving them on just 13 points and Saracens on 15. So, as you say, points really do matter. And actually denying Trailfinders that losing bonus point might have made a big difference come the end of the season. And Tessier makes the kick count when she needs to. So the final score of the game will be 36-25. A brilliant game of rugby. Any players in particular stand out for you, Stosie?
I don't know. I think, Tessier coming in with her kicks for territory, especially with Ealing's poor discipline. And then you just have some really big workhorses out there. Hope making a physical impact. Rachel ending up playing most of the game, making a physical impact. But for me, a big shout-out's got to be to the pack. I mean, that scrum and that maul, that was a difference maker, especially come the second half. Really got us out of some trouble.
That was immense, wasn't it? You can never underestimate one impact that has mentally on a team. When you've got the upper hand in the scrum, when you've got the upper hand potentially in the line-out, and you force them to quick tap, yes, it gives you different scenarios that you have to come up with solutions for, but it also plants a seed in their head. And it starts to erode some of that confidence. And maybe we didn't give Chiefs enough kudos with the confidence that they felt on that pitch today. Perhaps playing at home means more than we gave it credit.
Yeah, and credit to both sides. I think some really exciting stuff, and just a showcase of teams bringing their players back in from WXV, having fun, different combos, different skill sets, exciting rugby across the park.
Absolutely. So thank you very much for joining us today. Other games happening at the moment. Harlequins v Loughborough. It is 22-19 at the moment. Harlequins leading. And then later on this evening at 7 p.m, you will have Sale Sharks versus Bristol Bears, also on a live stream. So thank you very much for tuning in today with me, Claudia McDonald, and Emily Tatosi, and we hope to see you again soon.
Have a good one.